Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. All right, well, we got a countersink to cut down 90 thousandths from this inner surface. So we come in and drop this in here, really in any place. It doesn't matter, because what I'm gonna do is bring my bit up to the surface itself, touch, and reset my DRO. And then we'll cut in 90 thousandths from there. Take it out, run just a little bit of a chamfer in there, just to knock that inside edge off, and blow it out. There we go. Alright, so we want to get centered on our super spacer, and so we're going to drop this down. Let's get this going a little faster here. So we are at 130 or 1 inch 365 thousandths, 732 thousandths. Okay. Seven 32. And for some reason that doesn't look like the middle. It's not. Okay, we're going to start this over again. Sometimes it's just an illusion, but let's see what we got. Now what we want to do is get our bit in here. And the width of our bit is exactly 1/2 inch. So we're dead center on this. Now, if we look at our example piece, I'm seeing, let's get a straight edge. I'm seeing that if we run our straight edge from edge to edge, we're going right down the center line. You see it? So if we bring our cutting tip in to center line, we should have a good clean cut. And we're sitting at 1/2 inch. Let's put our collet back in. Bit back in. Okay, so that's center on that bit. So, and the bit is 1/2 inch, so if we come 250 thousandths this way, we should be sitting dead center. One always hopes. This way, and is that right? Yep. 240, 50. There it is. Looks good. So, and then now what we have to do is figure out how far down we cut. And I'm seeing $40 thousandths. So let's take it back up. Let's come in. We'll drop it down till it touches. Come back to 0. Bring it out to the end. You still with me? Well, you're kind of getting lost there, huh? Well, we'll just see how it goes. So then we come down 40 thousandths, right? And we can just use our and as far as I can tell, we're set to go. Everybody locked in. Well, I realize there's two things. I don't want to use a coarse cutter. Can't remember the exact name. And I want to use a fine bit. And I can't remember the other thing. So we're going to have to reset here. Okay, there we go. Bring this guy in here. And yeah. Okay, and we can bring this down to meet it. Yep. And there is our contact point. Well, that first cut, it didn't work out. So what we're going to do is we're going to index it. Now this was this piece here was about 1/8 of an inch too short. So we've got a kind of a scrap piece to play with here. So we're going to go 45 degrees to the next. Oops, let's go the other direction. 45. There's our next cut. Let's bring it up. Bring our table forward until it kind of squares up on the bit. Okay, there's 0, at least 0 height-wise, and now we're going to come to 0. There's 0. Now let's just bring our table up, much easier. Forty thousandths. 20, 30, 40. Actually doesn't look like enough. That wasn't a full 40 cut. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to measure this again. I'm seeing 40. Okay, halt. I don't know if you can see it or not, but right here, we're just about ready to hit. So what we have to do is figure out how to get this bit just a little bit longer, and I think that's a pretty stubby bit, but we definitely have to miss. So we're going to come up, and we can be right about that height there. Much better cut though, nice and sharp. Okay, so now let's see if we can get that bit longer. I don't know. hard to say. Yeah, there wasn't much holding it. Right, it was right about there. So we got to find another bit. We finally got this thing figured out and settled in, and everything's cutting smoothly. So we'll just run through one of these, and hey, let's get rolling. All right, well, there's two. A lot of burrs on here because I'm working with a bit that's not super sharp. Plus, this is 4140, and it's the only bit I have that's this long. So, and I can't order another one because it'll take a few days to get here, and this whole setup is here. So we're just going to keep kind of struggling along here, and we'll have to do a lot of file work. We're working with a duller and duller bit as we go. We got all kinds of fur happening here, but I'm going to put it on the grinder, and it's going to straighten it right out. well, we got it. That interesting thing about this is it actually sharpens the blade. So the grinder was the perfect answer, and it was quick. Okay, we got a bunch of little soldiers here standing in a row waiting, and we're going to take them up to 1500 degrees. Now, you can see my little test pieces that I did here, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago. And each one of these I took up to its corresponding temperature, finding out that 1500 degrees seems to be the one that really hardens the surface of the metal, which is what I need in these situations, because these little edges here are cutting edges. So we're gonna take this, and also I heated this up for about, I don't know, 15 minutes, but they say 1 inch takes about an hour. So we're gonna check back in with this on a regular basis to make sure that we're not getting overheated, because that was my concern. Overheating would mean that the cutting edge was going to get lost. So turn the kiln on. Come in. There we go. No, that's low. We want to go to straight up to high. We're going to take our little test pieces out and close the door. We'll be back in, I don't know, probably 30 minutes or so, and see what things look like. Okay, it's about a half an hour later. Oh, actually, more like 45 minutes. We're up at about 1200 degrees. Everybody's heat soaking nicely, so we'll just let her keep going, and we'll be back in probably another half hour. Okay, we've done about 6 or 8. Now let's go ahead and do the rest of them. And we're dropping them in canola oil, which smells better than motor oil, for sure. One, 2, and we're gonna turn the light out for a minute so you can actually see them. Three. 5. We'll go with 5 for right now in the drink. And it's still a little hot. That's better. Okay, oops, get rid of the oil. And how many do we have left? About 6. So at this point we can turn the temperature, or turn the kiln off. just starting to get hot. Okay, in the drink. Still a little bit hot. That's looking better. Okay, drop that in there, put the lid back on, and we're set to go. Well, that was a quick little project, at least for you. For me, it took about 3 weeks. But we got it done, and it's the first step in this much larger project. I don't think I'm going to be able to film the rest of the project. I'd like to, though, and I'm going to talk to my customer and see if that's going to work out for her or not. So in the meantime, we're done with this, and we've still got a little cleanup to do and a few things like that. But this is Nick Collier checking out.